You can take the boy out of Southeast Texas. You can't take Southeast Texas out of the boy.
Tonight, reporter Lance Edwards introduces us to a Port Arthur native who is pumping tens of millions of dollars into a small community along Toledo Bend Lake.
If you travel up Highway 87, you'll find a little unincorporated community called Fairmount, tucked away behind the East Texas pines.
This is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Jim Moyer loves the shores of Toledo Bend Lake. The locals refer to the outdoor enthusiasts who frequently roll into town to fish as weekenders.
People can come on the weekend, but they can't afford to stay.
And Moyer wants that to change. The former Thomas Jefferson Yellow Jacket and Rice University engineer has purchased and is developing 194 acres of land next to the lake. Moyer's mission? To boost the economy of the fifth poorest county in the state of Texas. His business partner, Craig Victory, describes the team's plans for economic impact.
We'll probably employ about 200 employees ourselves and then have an impact on, double to triple that number down the line with supporting businesses.
So how does one man and his groupies change an entire town? Well, Moyer's far from the most interesting man in the world, but his path to success is beyond commendable.
An arm picked up the noodle, wrapped it around the cylinder.
If you can't tell, he's a techie.
Now you could read and write. That whole room was a terabyte.
The Port Arthur native eventually moved to San Jose, California. He's a simple man constantly looking for his next invention.
And someone told me I had, 16, 20 patents once. I didn't know it was that many.
I mean, when you talk to Jim, you just know the wheels are constantly cranking. His technological track record, remarkable.
At one time, we had our parts in about 80% of all the laptops in the world.
You can hear the passion, the focus, especially when he talks about that one time he created a specific voltage regulator.
A lot of different people built that Qualcomm design, and there were 7 of these little regulators in every cell phone. And a friend told me that at one time after I'd left the company that they were shipping 5 million a day.
But if you ask Moyer, he's a generous hermit. He says he didn't even like California. He's that older gentleman who always has a conspiracy or strong opinion, especially when it comes to the ethanol-free gas he sells at his pumps.
No, I'm selling it below cost. It's a rebellion. It costs more to make a gallon of ethanol than it does to make a gallon of gasoline.
But the reality is Moyer humors himself. He's an investor ready to brighten the personality of one of the oldest and most historic communities in the state of Texas.
The 3 most important things in retail are location, 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 right? We have none of the above.
And people are moving to that location. Real estate agents are excited. In the last 20 years, the population of Fairmount has increased 25%. And that's why he's using his hard-earned fortune to develop the little town that his parents loved more than anything in the world.
The hangar homes will run all the way the length of the runway. The runway's over there. It's not easy to see right now.
That's right. He and his buddies are building an airport. But it all started with a general store and cafe. You could call it the think tank. The spot where the mines decided Fairmount needed a completely covered 100,000 square foot lumber yard and hardware store. The table where they convinced the church to convert one of its buildings into a medical facility. And don't worry, after his car wash and lube stores are constructed, he's going to build a more formal clinic, a strip mall, and eventually the pride and joy of these flying enthusiasts' lives, an airstrip.
It'll put Fairmount on the map. Fairmount will be a destination point.
A runway that will provide easy access for the weekenders looking to get away and perhaps purchase a spot on the lake.
I saw this opportunity. I saw what he was building, what he was doing in Sabine County, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
The price tag for a project this big, well, it floats. Rumor has it, folks in Hemp Hill and throughout Sabine County say Moyer is a billionaire, but he just laughs.
In a little town, a little community, don't take out an ad, start a rumor. It goes twice as fast and no cost.
He's spending tens of millions of dollars to make over the place he now calls home.
And that's about as much as we can afford.
Jim Moyer and his team are more than weekenders. They are town flippers, ready to leave their legacy along Toledo Bend Lake. In Sabine County, Lance Edwards, 12 News.